Sport and Discovery Plus as well, that we can hand to our commentary team for this evening to get things underway. It's Dominic Dale and Phil Studd.
What a noise. Yes, these players have quite a lot to live up to after the brilliance of this afternoon's match between Messrs O'Sullivan and Bing, who of course made the 4th Masters maximum and his 2nd in defeat to the world #1. But these two players are more than capable of putting on a show themselves. Another one of the greats in Williams against a rejuvenated Ali Carter, arguably playing the snooker of his life, having got himself as of right back in the Masters after a couple of seasons away. So it's Williams to get us underway. And this is a meeting that is overdue, Dominic, because they haven't played for nearly 5 years.
No, that's right. They both had fairly similar seasons last season in terms of prize money, and this really, but I'm looking forward to this because I do love a match where both players have slightly different styles of play. Ali Carter can be a little volatile, certainly does like to wear his heart on his sleeve. He shows a lot of emotion. Mark Williams, the polar opposite of that, really.
Needless to say, every seat taken this tournament a total sellout from the first ball to the last on Sunday night, when someone is going to pick up the iconic Paul Hunter Trophy and a cheque for £250,000. Ali Carter, of course, came within one victory of the title 4 years ago now. Hard to believe it was that long ago, as he mentioned to Rachel. His record in this event is relatively modest. He's only been to the quarter-final stages 3 times, and the irony was that the year, of course, that he made the final, he wasn't actually supposed to be in the tournament. It was only because of O'Sullivan's withdrawal that he got in. He made the most of it. He was 7-5 up against Stuart Bingham in the final before Bingham denied him by 10 frames to 8. Williams, of course, twice a champion, including one of the most famous finals of all time, the re-spotted black victory against Stephen Hendry way back in 1998. And came very close to making it a hat-trick 12 months ago, of course, denied at the last by Judd Trump, having led 8-7. Even though they haven't played for the best part of 5 years, it's a significant rivalry, this one. This is their 18th meeting. Williams leading the head-to-head 11-6. They're 2nd at the Masters. Williams having beaten Carter back in 2010 in the first round. What a scene. Interesting to hear Carter say that he rates this tournament in terms of prestige alongside the World Championship, and certainly in terms of atmosphere. You could make a case for saying it is the best on the circuit. That's a mistake from Williams.
Yes, wanted that cue ball behind the pack of reds to block off this corner pocket. Needs a good kiss from cue ball to blue, though. Well, that's okay. I say okay. Yes, he can pop the blue, no problem at all, but no easy red to play for. Maybe the one at the back of the pack closest to the black. Unless he can run through for the red near the brown in the left centre, perhaps. Well, he had more angle on the blue than I thought he had. He was okay.
He's been tremendously consistent in the last season and a half, Carter. That's why he's back amongst the game's elite. Oh, but he's missed that red. He'd be disappointed with that.
Ali Carter 6.
But of course he was triumphant at the German Masters last season. Dominated Tom Ford in the title match, as we see that red go astray again. He was runner-up to Murphy at the Players' Championship. He's been runner-up to Trump this season in Wuhan. So he's been racking up the ranking points. That's why he's back up to number 10 in the world. But of course, Mark Williams has also tasted success very recently, including the British Open this season. And much more recently, the Invitational event in Macau, a very lucrative few days for Williams, who beat Jack Lazowski in the final. So he's been enjoying the winning habit again.
And Ali Carter isn't too short of match practice either. He's playing in Group 2 of the Championship League Invitational event just a few days ago, losing in the semi-finals of Group 2 to Mark Selby.
Mark Williams, 6.
Both players just looking to feel their way into this opening frame. Inevitably, there'll be nerves. There have to be if you're to perform at your best in front of a crowd like this. And that's nicely cued. So Carter back in.
He's a very confident player, Ali Carter. There's no getting away from that. He bustles around the table, gets on with it. A very aggressive player. Needs a good positional shot here, though. This is awkward, this red to left corner. Because he was hampered by the red near the right side cushion, decided against attempting that red.
Ali Carter, 8.
What can you say about this man, Mark Williams? Played so many matches at the Masters. He's played 53, in fact, and won 30 of them. Ali Carter there. Played 19 matches here at the Masters, but only won 7. But you are always facing the game's elite whenever you play at the Masters.
Turns 49 in March, Mark Williams. Became the oldest player to make a maximum at the English Open back in 2022 when he was 47. And in winning the British Open this season, in beating Mark Selby, he became the second oldest winner of a ranking event after the great Ray Reardon.
No easy path back to bulk here for Mark Williams at all. The red as well near the left-hand side cushion could also be causing him a problem, trying to get around the back of that to take the cue ball back towards bulk. Just avoided it. These two players share plenty of characteristics, both very tactically astute, both heavy scorers when given the opportunity. I think though Mark Williams just has that extra something tactically, call it tablecraft, whatever you wish to call it, but he has that. He's able to just pick out the odd shot here and there that can cause a problem. Now, Ali Carter, as you can see in that picture there, there's a definite chance of a plant here to the right corner, and I'll be amazed if he refuses it. It does have to be made just fractionally, but I'll be surprised if this doesn't go in.
Yes, and it had to go in, clearly. Yes, there was a good deal of jeopardy had the red stayed out, but in it goes. So Carter once again at the table, looking to make early inroads in this match.
He'll be disappointed not to have better position on the colour there. There is a gap through to the black, and for positional reasons he needs to take it on, but there's a lot of pressure on this. Not quite, just caught the near jaw. Now, that could be very costly.
Yes, that was tough, wasn't it? Because he knew in missing it, he was leaving plenty. Just caught the near angle. One of those shots where there's plenty of reward if you get it, but a lot of risk if you don't. And Williams will now look to capitalise.
Whoa.
Well, already he has a tricky little positional shot to play, Mark. All these reds are rather in one another's way. So that's why he's played for red into this right corner. He needs to try and get that cue ball somewhere around the pink spot area, then there will be reds available to him. I'm a little surprised this went in. Caught a lot of that near jaw and at pace.
He's been scoring very heavily this season, Williams. He's already made 29 centuries, which is just 3 shy of his season's tally from the previous campaign.
$16. $17.
Again, with so much angle on the blue, he can't just hold for a red. He may have to just trickle into them.
Can you please make sure your phone's on silent, please? Thank you.
Ben Williams officiating for us tonight, just admonishing a member of the audience for having their phone on. Fairly commonplace these days, though, isn't it? Oh, that cannon's worked out well. Now he's back in business.
22. $23. $30. $31.
One thing you can say about Mark Williams these days, he's very careful with what he does. All the flamboyance and flair of a couple of decades or so ago. Well, it's still there if he wants it, but he's changed his game dramatically, Mark, the last 20 years or so. But that red has gone astray. What a surprising miss.
Mark Williams. 30.
Yes, that's a big let-off for Ali Carter. Williams looking to make the most of Carter's missed black earlier in the frame, but didn't really get that close to that red. That's what he thought of it.
Well, Phil, I hope he's not in any back pain or anything like that, because he did have that problem, that twinge earlier on, and if he's conscious of it, it could cause a problem in terms of focus and concentration.
.28 between them. Quite an edgy opening to this match. Who is going to settle down first?
Short of pace there, Ali, with that safety, but the green is doing him some favours here. It's blocking a possible red to the left corner.
The winner to play the winner of our match tomorrow afternoon from 1:45 UK time, Judd Trump, who of course is the reigning champion, going for a hat-trick of Masters titles this year against former runner-up Kyron Wilson. So it could be a repeat of the final in the next round if Williams were to prevail tonight and Trump comes through. Williams, of course, had a very near miss the year before, when at one stage Neil Robertson needed a couple of snookers in their deciding frame in their semi-final, got them and won on the black.
Good length of the cue ball. It's a useful target, both yellow and brown, to have to try and get that snooker behind them.
There's confirmation that it is overall quite a modest record that Carter has in this event, but of course he did get himself within 2 frames of the title. And the way he's been playing in the last season and a half, if he wins tonight, he'll fancy going deep again. But that's a good red from Williams to get back in. A 26th appearance for the great man. Won his second Masters title, as he did his first, at the expense of his great mate Stephen Hendry. That was 21 years ago, though, now.
Four. $11. 12.
Just this pink and one more red required to win the opening frame.
$18. $19.
And typically it was a trademark long red that got Williams in to clinch this frame. One of the best in that regard in the history of this sport.
$25. $26.
Carter had an opportunity himself earlier in the frame, missed what was a tough black under pressure, knowing that he was leaving plenty. In the event, it wasn't as expensive as it might have been, with Williams missing into the left centre on the red, but got back in with that excellent long-range red and the trademark under the body shot, with the frame long since won. The consummate match player, Mark Williams, still thoroughly enjoying the heat of battle.
39.
I think he's proud of himself, and rightly so, that now knocking on the door of his 50th year, he's still amongst the game's elite.
$44. $48. $53. $59.
He's taken these very nicely after the early jousting. It's Mark Williams who got in with a terrific long red and clears the table with 66. First blood then to the 3 times champion of the world. He leads. First to 6 with the right to play either defending champion Trump or Kyron Wilson, who are in action as mentioned tomorrow afternoon.
The second frame, Ali Carter to break.
Ben Williams calling the crowd to order ahead of frame 2. These players no strangers to meeting on the very biggest of snooker occasions. I mentioned Williams has won their only previous Masters match, but they've played at the World Championship as well. That was the year that Williams claimed his third title in the quarterfinals after Carter had impressively beaten O'Sullivan in the second round. Oh, that was a long way off from Williams. Very uncharacteristic. Has he got away with it, though? Carter has a victory over Williams in the UK Championship. Won in a decider back in 2008, so... a meeting, as mentioned, that is overdue, given they haven't played for nearly 5 years. Williams getting a bit lucky not to leave anything there.
Well, absolutely. It just shows, doesn't it, how important a good run of the ball can be at times. Mark could have left plenty on there for Ali Carter, but didn't. Superbly played, safety shot from Mark Williams. I think Ali would be disappointed, though, not to get this safe. But I wonder if Ali Carter has had any thoughts about approaching this match in a certain way by playing an attacking style of snooker to try and keep the balls open. Because Mark Williams' tablecraft is rather legendary.
Saw Carter having a little practice on the table ahead of this match earlier this evening in tandem with his coach Chris Henry. Clearly that has been a winning combination with the results he's put together, which have got him back amongst the game's elite. Sitting pretty as regards the Players Series events, first of which is next week, the World Grand Prix. But also looking good for the Players and the Tour Championships to follow. All lucrative events for those players who have excelled the best this season. Of course, Williams is in a similar boat. 4th on the one-year list, Carter is 8th.
Not enough backspin this time from Mark Williams, so good half chances for Ali Carter, but again, a lot of pressure on this pot.
One. Six.
Carter has been no slouch in the century-making stakes this season. He's up to 20 already and has passed 400 for his career. One of only 17 players to have made that many.
Eleven.
attempts there. It's another potential plant that is probably available to this left corner. In fact, Ali's chosen to play it. Important for Ali Carter, I feel, to make a good break here, just to settle any nerves, because this is another good opportunity for him.
$17. $18. $21.
We'll look for an angle on the colour now to try to play for some of the reds around the pink spot.
22. $25. $26.
The pink will be tied up once it's potted. Its spot is surrounded by reds.
$32. $33. $38. $39.
The bottom red of that group of four below the pink will pot into this right corner. And that in turn would open one to the right of it, to the left corner.
$44. $45.
Wanted to be straight on the red to run through for the black and had to play a delicate little cannon there for the pink, and it's gone wrong a little. It may be potable still, but very awkward.
Yes, much closer to the pink than he would have liked. This is tricky. And although it's a useful lead, it's by no means a decisive one, so a delicate touch required here for Carter. And it was always drifting to that near jaw, so the break ends disappointingly early. He has got a couple of awkward reds by way of some insurance, but clearly disappointed that he couldn't go on to clinch the frame there.
1. Eight.
Never easy to judge, is it, when you're that close to the object ball?
No, although immediately it struck the pink, it did seem to be heading towards the
9.
pocket briefly.
$14.
Not an easy pot, and had to concentrate fully
20.
on getting the pot, which means that position is far from A1 for Williams. We've shaved the lead now to just 25 points, still 51 on the table. There's applause, but it always looked as though it was heading to the near jaw, so the damage not too great for Carter after the miss pink. Comes back to the table with that 25-point cushion.
One.
It's going to need one of the remaining two reds with a colour to make the frame safe.
Five.
And that should be good enough, because the blue will put him 36 in front with only 35 left.
$11.
And this to make absolutely sure of levelling the match. It's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, sure.
The crowd acknowledging that that is surely the ball that makes it one apiece.
12.
Carter would have been a little concerned when he missed the pink to the left centre, but Mark Williams in turn missed the tricky red to the right corner from distance. And that's allowed the former finalist
Okay.
to equalise. So battle joined.
14. 16.
Given Carter's form in the last 18 months, this looked likely to be a really tight contest.
19.
Nothing that's happened so far is suggesting otherwise.
23.
I think now that Ali
28.
Carter has won the second frame, it does set up this match very nicely.
34.